that.
Oh, hello, everybody. Happy Sunday. I don't think I got that.
I couldn't even get the other one open.
It would only be appropriate that we didn't get it on the
Exactly.
last wrap up.
That's how we finish up 2024. That actually sums up 2024, if we're being honest.
Yeah, I know we say this all the time, but no, this year went by fast. This should be
fastest
August.
year in history. Like, genuinely, yeah.
Because
ridiculous.
I guess we're saying goodbye to 2024, but it's like it's goodbye before it even got started.
Right. Like, what?
It's funny, saying this year never sounded right to me. Does that make sense? Like saying it's 2024.
Yeah. It's weird.
I don't know. But like 2025, that sounds good.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be good for everybody. Something about 2024 just always kind of felt ominous, and I'm like,
yeah, why
I don't like that energy.
Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
It did though. It did. It had an ominous tone to it, and I don't know why.
Good personal things happen, so that's good. Like it's good. We
did the live show.
We did the live show. Yes. Like all kind of good stuff. LA was so fun. Oh my God. That was a good time. That was a good, it ended for you. And
we got a comment in the chat that says, "Thank God 2024, I found out my husband cheated on me."
Oh my goodness. Is that good or bad?
Left me clues before he left. Okay, Yasmin.
What?
Oh, whoa. See, we are ending 2024 with the tea. All right, Yasmin, please feel free to keep telling that story in the chat and we will come back to you.
Yes.
But that is crazy.
No, let me tell you. I did it wasn't Ask Me Anything because I'm doing an Ask Me Anything episode like this week. It was I asked people because I forgot what led to it, but I asked people what their goals were for 2025. And someone said, finally getting divorced. I was like, oh, wait, what do you mean? I'm like, first of all, congratulations, fuck him. But right. I'm like, but what led to that? I want to know the tea. What's up?
Yeah, exactly.
They dropped the hints.
Fun stuff. Yeah, exactly.
Y'all know how nosy we are. We want to know.
Oh, exactly. I was so annoyed. I had someone on a phone call right outside my window and they were yelling and I was like, I can tell it's good, but it was in a different language. And I was like,
oh, that's
but I could tell they were passionate. One of my favorite types of eavesdropping are when people are in public having those phone calls because it's so intense that they don't care that they're just in front of a Vons. They will have this conversation. Listen to me. You listen to me. And I'm like, oh, this is so good.
Because that's how you know someone is pissed off. And that is the best. Oh my God. I remember I had a cousin that was in the airport. My younger cousin had been in a car accident. Like she was totally fine, like nothing wrong. But like her car was like really damaged. Like someone ran through a four-way stop. And like her daughter called her and she's like, oh my God, I'm freaking out. So like she called her dad, my other, other cousin, obviously, called him. And he's like, is she okay? And she's like, yeah, she's fine. But go to her. The car, they're here and the car's like this. And he's like, oh, well, she's okay then, and when I tell you, she turned that airport upside down. We were all just kind of sitting over to the side like, ooh, because that is such a dad response. Well, she's okay. She's all right. The record's there. They're going to, tow her to this like that. It's like, get your ass up and go to where, I don't care if she's in Siberia, get on a plane and go over there and make sure she's okay. Like, it's ridiculous. Like that's the best kind of cussing and fussing and just, it's amazing. I love it.
Oblivious to your surroundings. And then but the best is if you catch them when they hang up the call.
And they look around.
Then they just like go into the Vons that they were standing in front of and facing in front of.
Yes, because they never make eye contact with anybody. They just like they're like, I know I showed out. I don't care, and they just go in. You're like, you know what? Good for you, girl. Good. For you.
That's why I am thinking of a very specific story where it was a Ralph's actually, and there was this woman was going off on her phone, and by the time I came out of the Ralph's, she was hanging up the phone. I'm like, oh, she's still out. Hanging up the phone, and then she goes in to shop, and I was like, see, I'm just impressed she was that my day would have been done. I would have because when you start an angry call, you're running your errands and you start that mad call, but then you realize I am just gonna head right on home into my car and I'm gonna fight in my car, like all plans ruined because this phone
Yes.
call takes precedence. So when she just went back into the Ralphs, I was like, that's just impressive.
No, you know what that means? That means she cuts up like that all the time.
All
That
the
didn't
time.
that didn't even interrupt her day. She's like, you know what? Sometimes you got to cuss a bitch out, and then you just go on
That's
about
so
what you're doing.
true.
You just go on about what
Emily,
you're
thank
doing.
you so much. Emily just gave us a little money. Thank you so much, Emily. That's so sweet.
Hi,
Okay, wait. I
Emily
need to
who?
get back. I don't exactly, right?
I know.
Give us your first and last name
Yeah, I
and
know.
social security number.
Most of everything. Your mom's maiden name. Give us a lot of
Hold
stuff.
on. Now we
all
need
that.
did Yasmin give us any more tea? 21 years of marriage. 22 yeah, okay. He out to mama's house.
No, keep scrolling down. She says what he did.
It's okay. He fathered another child from another woman.
Oh, hold on, Yasmin. I'm getting on Yasmin, where do you live? Because you need backup.
Where?
I'm getting on a plane.
Oh,
You can come back from a lot of
he
stuff.
walked
You
out
can't
to
come back
mama's
from
house
that.
all on his own.
He had the nerve to try to leave before you can put him out. Oh no. Yasmin, where do you live? We got to come.
We're
You
coming.
need backup. We coming.
We're coming.
Like, where are you?
We're getting on a plane. Okay, that's
Unless
it.
it's somewhere like Oregon. I don't want to go.
Jesus.
Like,
Actually, no. Let us know first where you live because at this point,
you know,
okay.
we
say that now. Okay, but like, where are you
right?
us?
And we know from true crime, we're never going to Washington State. So just everything happens in Washington State. So we're not going there. So if you live there, then we're here for moral support. But otherwise, we're coming. Okay,
we're coming.
We'll be there.
Yasmin, I cannot believe that. Well, thank you for livening that up and letting us in on something very vulnerable. Emma, my queen, Emma, thank you so much. She also gave us money. I promise I'm not going to keep calling out these things because I don't mean to be annoying, but like, thank you guys. We really do. That's really, really sweet.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much.
Love y'all.
Love you guys. Wow. Okay. Well, 2024, like I said, it's been a fast year, but we ended it with such a bang. Beyonce's halftime performance.
My God.
Oh my word. So my sister is not a big Beyonce fan. I know, but like I just have to accept that in my life. That's just part of what it is. But because I went over to her house on Christmas Day and Kirby, my brother-in-law, they're always watching a football game or whatever. So they just had that on. Mind you, Kirby was like in the backyard when Beyonce's halftime performance. Like I was only there for the halftime performance.
Right.
Like I don't care. But even my sister, who's not a big Beyonce fan, had to say, like, she gave it up. She's like, this is, first of all, it was very confusing for everyone because Christmas football games are not usually that like big of a deal.
Yeah.
So to have this big Super Bowl caliber halftime show was also just like weird to process. Like this isn't. This doesn't even make sense that this is happening tonight. Like this isn't the Super Bowl. It might as well be the Super Bowl. It was very much like, this is what you're going to get when I go on tour because it's going to be this incredible and this fantastic.
And boy, am I ready to spend all of my money for that.
All of my money.
I'm getting an outfit made. Like I'm assless chaps with feathers and everything. It's gonna be like, you remember the outfit that Prince had on when he was performing?
That's what I was thinking of.
Yes, that's exactly what it's gonna be with a cowboy hat. I can't wait.
I'm
Cheeks
into that.
Clapping in the wind. I can't wait.
Oh, I love it. Yeah, no, that performance was flawless.
And the replay is even better. I've watched it on Netflix about 98 times now.
Well, here's what I'm cracking up about is that it had already been, people had posted it on YouTube already. So when Netflix was like, we got it, I thought it was going to be some making of special, but it's just the replay. And I was like, oh, well, I did already watch it like 60 times.
But I will say, I know, you know what's so crazy? I was telling someone, I was like, you know what? I've seen it now on YouTube so many times in these 2 days that now I'm watching like the clean, like new version just to see like what she edited out. Cause she's such a perfectionist.
Stuff.
She's such a perfectionist. So like it looks the same, but like, you know me, when I was watching, I was noticing like the small little stuff. I'm like,
me too.
Like when during
Hold'em, during Texas Hold'em.
Oh, what'd you see?
Just like a little moment, I could tell she's like, oh, she's not going to want that cowboy hat is going to be. It was like in the way she had to kind of like move it around. I'm like, oh, okay, they're going to have to change that. I saw the same thing. That's so funny. What else did you see?
when she was about to like do the big Post Malone cameo, she done this like spin and it was supposed to go over to him, but before that the camera like went a little too wide, you could kind of see him, and then it like kind of went right back to her. I'm like, oh, Post Malone is here, and so it kind of ruined that cameo. So now if you're watching it on Netflix, she like made it like her a lot closer, and then it goes over to him. I'm like, oh, there we go. See, a Virgo perfectionist queen. I love it.
Yes,
I love it.
No, it was so, she looked so incredible too. Like that outfit was so perfect for her. Where the straps fell on her thigh was just like so perfect.
Oh, and all good.
Oh my God, it was like I was mesmerized. Just
those outfits, right?
Oh, stunning! Like,
and oh my God,
stunning! And her vocals.
Have you heard the ones like that? Just like
they isolated the vocal. It's incredible.
So good.
And I have such a fear of heights that just getting up on something that would go that high looks terrifying. But she was singing her pussy off, and I just
truly
the choreography, incredible.
Everything
incredible choreography.
Only she could pull off this kind of show. And it's just like, if you don't acknowledge her as like, you don't have to like her music. If you don't acknowledge her as one of the greatest performers of all time, then you're just a hater. That's just what it is. Because like both of the outfits, she had our country girlies, when she popped up and all five of them lined up, I'm like, oh my God, this is you just don't get shit like that. Then she walks out, we get the actual like the live part of it with the we got Yaya live. Are you kidding me? We've all been waiting for Yaya live. And it did not disappoint.
And it did not disappoint. I love that first move when she gets like when she's looking at all the guys in the line and they put their gun in.
So good. I'm gonna watch it right after this. I can't wait.
Me too. I can't count the amount of times I've watched it.
I know. So good. So good.
I know. Well, speaking of television of the 2024 has actually been, I will say it's been pretty damn good.
It has. I've enjoyed some things. Pretty damn
good. We had Love Island USA really just finally coming into their own with Ariana Madix leading it.
Shout out to Ariana.
That was pretty major. That was like, she's one of the very few who could be a super fan of a show and also host it.
Yes, because she was calling people out and everything. I was like, okay, here we go. Love that.
Like she really respected the format of Love Island and like knew it by heart but still like led them. And
her stylists were knocking it out of the park. Because let's be honest, if y'all have traveled internationally or y'all just familiar with her on social media or you watch Love Island UK, the girls are going to be in Maya Jama's shadow. Just so, like Maya Jama is just that is a figure. Like my God.
That's a great way that's exactly what she is.
She's one of those. I compared her to Zendaya the other day. I'm like, I don't care what the fuck she puts on. It just, she makes it look good. I'm like, my God, this is an incredible human being. And so she had a lot to like live up to. Not with Sarah Hyland, because that was easy. But now that she was like out of Maya's, no, the fluke. But her stylist knocked it out of the park almost every. I say almost because I know everyone didn't love all the looks.
Exactly.
I love pretty much like most of the looks that she came out. I was like, okay, 10, loved it. 8 that one. And I wonder, my favorite ones is the one that everyone hated. I love that golden look with the jewels all over it with the big hair. I was like, oh, I kind of like only like she could pull this off,
I remember what you're talking about. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. That and that lingerie look when they did the
lingerie sexy look.
Oh my God.
Her hair, when they did her hair was perfect. But that gold, the first one, the gold like looked wet. It's iconic.
What an intro.
Iconic. Like when they found it, they went, oh, that's it. There's just no topping it.
There's
no topping it. We also, unfortunately, we lost Candy from Atlanta. That was a big one. Atlanta in general has just been, and then Kenya's like suspended or fired or something.
We won't know until after this upcoming season. Like, my God.
Yeah. So that was a big one. Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. Our first time getting, well, not I guess our first time, because I guess Charlie, what's her name? Who's that little dancer girl, TikTok girl who got her own show? D'Angelo? Is that their name?
Oh, I know who you're talking about. D'Arma. No.
Someone will tell us in the chat.
Girl.
Someone let us know that girl. She had I guess her and her family, they had a show But
Yes.
Secret Lives of Mormon Wives seems to be the first time that a social media scandal was turned into a reality show.
Yeah.
And that it went well, but I will say this. Now that they're filming season 2 and they're still doing all their usual like social media stuff, and I don't care. Like as they keep once I realized they were just going to keep clickbaiting us with these like we broke up or we didn't. I'm not sure. I'm like, okay, well, let me know when season 2 airs because I'm not following this shit.
It's why influencers, you have to be careful with making them reality stars because they're going to keep trying to do the influencer shit. They're going to always try to sell you something. This and then I'm like, okay, girl, like I don't, who cares? And let me tell you something. Hulu, I'm going to tell you right now, if you try to make this, because it was a huge success for them. If you try to make this a week-to-week show, I'm tuning. I'm not watching until all the episodes are out. This is not a week to week. It was so great because we can binge it when we had the time. We are not watching this week to week. I'm sorry. No.
Thank you, because don't do that to me. And thank you, Zachary. It was D'Amelio.
Okay.
Charlie D'Amelio or whoever. It's the D'Amelio family. Okay, that was.
Let me call out another comment because it's what
go ahead.
Emily, who gave us, hey Emily Boo, she said Maya Jama's red flame dress lives rent free in my head. And if y'all know the picture I'm gonna send you like the dress she's talking about. My God, today, Maya Jama, you owe me nothing in life. I just want to call that out because correct.
Maya Jama also, as just a host, it's like it's one of the most oddly natural things for her to do.
Yes.
She doesn't ever make it look weird, scripted, clunky, ever. It's like I don't know how she does it, but it's like this effortless, all of the stuff they're supposed to do, you know, like, all right, you go stand over here and all the instructional stuff. It just flows out.
Some people,
it's second nature.
Some people are just born to do certain things. She was born to command a room, and it's just, she commands it.
She commands it.
Love that.
This was also, I know these weren't, well, I guess it's TV, the Summer Olympics. This had us like all united, I feel. Right? All of the swimming and the gymnastics, Simone Biles.
Yes.
Simone Biles. I'm obsessed. Like I knew she was good, but I didn't know how good she was until I watched, I think it's Netflix or maybe it's
I was just about to bring it up. Netflix.
Yeah, that was incredible. I watched that after I had watched the Olympics. It didn't like occur to me to watch it before. I did not realize how she had grown up. She was in foster care for a little bit. Her parents are actually her grandparents, and her mom struggles, and like this little girl just like came out of the womb doing flips. Like she was so cute. They showed the cutest little kid videos of her being so teeny tiny and flipping all around. Oh my God, she was so cute. But
so
yeah, that was big. The
Sha'Carri.
Oh yeah. Sha'Carri.
You know, we are a big track household here. Like that's our favorite stuff in the Olympics. Like I love the gymnastics too, but those damn track runners, like that, like 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 seconds of just like straight running is just like the most exhilarating shit in the world. It's just like, oh my God. I love Sha'Carri. I think she'll come back and just be everything. Oh my God. I'm obsessed. Olympics, what a good time this year, especially in a year that was like almost built to divide us. It really like it makes it really like remember how great it is when we're all like on the same page about something. Like when we're all like just like not waking up hating each other and all this. It's just so fun. Like, my God, like who doesn't like love the Olympics? Like everyone was watching the same thing every night, every time.
I think that's what's fun about it is that the Olympics can really connect you with people that you wouldn't think you'd connect to.
Yeah.
Right? Because it's like you're watching the Olympics. Oh my God. And it just makes you feel so proud. What are you laughing at?
They are cracking me up in the comments. Kat said the pole vault guy.
The pole vault.
Obviously.
Which seriously though, like that pole vault was I'm surprised they don't have that problem more often and secure it somehow.
Yeah, you would think, but then like you think about wrestling and stuff like that, I'll just like let it just like, you know, you tight in there, just like right there, and it's like, okay, well,
but I mean Kat's right. Flavor Flav sponsoring women's sports. That was His
Oh.
Snoop too, like, but Flavor Flav really, like, his true love of the women's swim team, like,
Mhm.
he really just loved them and rooted for them, paid whatever he could pay. He was such a fan. That was a twist I
Yes.
did not see. He's such an interesting human being, Flavor
I
Flav,
know, right? Like
right?
every time I see Bridget Nielsen, I just like have this like random like just wave of 90s coming back to me. I'm like, oh my God, what was going on in life? What was
Right?
actually
That
happening?
that was a whole relationship that went, oh
That
God,
what a time in
crazy.
reality TV too. Like my God, that was a
That's
time.
funny. And
That
now
was
and
a
now he's
time.
sponsoring the women's swim team, and
Yes.
he is showing up and he's giving clocks to everybody, and it's cute.
Yeah, Ray
Um,
Gun, the break
yes.
dancing. Oh my God.
Oh, Reagan. That
Yes.
was confusing. That was
Very.
because it's like was it just one long prank that she
That's what
played?
it felt like. That's definitely what it felt like. And I feel like Australia won't acknowledge it. And we're just kind of like, are you ready to tell us the truth now? Like,
Because then
no?
she didn't
Okay.
she like didn't she say I'm retiring from breakdancing too?
Baby, you never started. So
We're
it's
like,
okay.
this has to be a prank. Like, you have to be pranking us. This has to be like
Goodness.
some art installation that you're doing, some like moving art piece, because you're like, I don't know, like, on like testing humans and how they can handle you just being ridiculous. Because what do you mean you're retiring from
Right.
breakdancing? We don't.
What?
Okay, bye bye.
What?
I don't. Okay, thank you.
Before we move on, since we're talking about sports, I do love that we got, for the first time, I feel, we finally are giving women's basketball the shine that
Yes.
they need. Like, this is a huge Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark, just all these, like, we have so many, like, this rookie class was phenomenal, but now we're finally shining light on the people that have been carrying the sport for years now. And it's just, I'm so happy. Like, they deserve like every bit of shine that they've been getting, signing these huge Nike deals and just all
Such a
the,
good
like,
point.
congrats to the girls. Congrats to the girls.
Such a good point. Because if you ever want to see like a pay disparity, you look between
Right?
men's basketball and women's basketball. And I get that there's a difference in, like, the return on investment, if you will, but still, it's
But it's getting smaller now. They ain't gonna have no choice because people are watching.
Mm-hmm.
Here
We had
go.
the Penguin this year. The Penguin was
Mhm.
so good.
Mhm.
Monsters season 2. This is where my Ryan Murphy
Oof.
feud really amped up, for
Yes.
sure. Really amped that one up for me, Mr. Murphy. Okay.
Yes.
I
Yes,
add
yes, yes.
Kristen Chenoweth and Ryan Murphy to my nemesis list.
Wait a minute. What did Kristen do?
Oh, you don't know this? Kristen
I don't.
Chenoweth is my
Uh-oh.
number one nemesis.
What did she do? What's the tea? What happened?
She is a covert narcissist, and she makes everything about her. And
Oh.
yes, and it sucks because the part in Wicked was literally written for Kristen Chenoweth. So I mean,
Yeah.
how does she not get a big head about that? Okay, I get it.
Right. Yeah.
I get it. But it started there was a true crime docu-series called the Oklahoma Girl Scout Murders. Keeper of the Ashes, Oklahoma Girl Scout Murders.
She hosted or narrated that, right?
You would, okay, it's a good question. Good question. Because why? I don't know. I guess because she turned herself into like the star of it for some reason. Okay, so here's what her connection was. It's a story about 3 young girls who go to a camp, sleepaway camp, and some psychotic, horrible person breaks into their tents while everyone is sleeping and unalives 3 girls.
Yes, I listened to a podcast. I didn't watch the show. I listened to a podcast. But yeah.
Okay, well, Kristen is presented as like someone with this huge connection to it, because she gets this long intro where she's slowly walking into the school, and I'm like, oh, okay, she must have like known the girls. And she says, I was supposed to go to camp that year, but I ended up being sick, and my mom didn't let me go. And I'm like, okay, cool. Maybe then she was friends with them. Then she goes, I actually never spoke to the girls. I just knew them. I saw them in passing. And I'm like, okay, fine. This could easily stick with you for a while. That's fair, Kristen. Okay, like this big, huge murder happened. Fine. Well, then it turns out her whole part is talking about herself. So we'll cut to the story. They'll cut to it is gruesome. I mean, these people are traumatized, the detectives, and they're talking about what they saw in the crime scene. It's just brutal. Then they cut back to Kristen's part for another slow-mo walk in. And then for some reason, it's her going into her music class that she set up some, like, she donated and paid to have them have like a better musical theater program or something. And so she goes in and she's doing vocal warm-ups with these kids who look like they're like, why are we here? What are we doing? Who's this lady? But then I'm waiting for her to be like, the girls actually really loved musical theater. No mention of them. No one expressed any interest in musical theater. So this is just a Kristen Chenoweth, like, weird performance. Speaking of performance, okay, it ends. The last episode is her singing some schmaltzy song with a friend who I swear she tricked into showing up, because the friend was like, we're singing to who? It's the parents of these kids. Why are we singing this song? It doesn't make any fucking sense. And I forgot. Then there's one part where she goes to her aunt's house and is looking at childhood photos of herself.
Why?
I said, why, Kristen? So then I start looking into Kristen Chenoweth a little bit more. There was a shooting at a hospital in Oklahoma. You know what Kristen Chenoweth tweeted that day?
What?
Pray for me. And I thought, I wonder if maybe she knew someone. She
didn't.
She didn't know one person in that hospital shooting, but because she's from Oklahoma,
I know you lying.
Pray for us. Oklahomans are strong. Pray for me. For me, not for the victim. Okay. Recently, it just gets worse. She had apparently tweeted something like, I feel for Diddy. I'll pray for Diddy.
Oh yes. Yes. That's
right. Because of my own personal story, I just am going to pray for Diddy, which obviously makes people go, what's your personal story?
Right, what happened, girl?
And then she has to be like, when I was younger, I was in an abusive relationship. And, since you're all asking, I'll tell you. And so that's why the best I could do was pray for him, whatever. Well, then she gets asked when she's doing some promo for, I don't know, something on like the red carpet signing autographs. And someone's like, are you still praying for Diddy? And she's like, oh, no. I mean, no, it's bad. But yeah, I guess. But it's bad. I'm like, girl, lady, I need you to go away. So that's my beef with Kristen Chenoweth. Sorry, that was a tangent. I apologize.
No, that's valid though. Okay. While you were talking, someone did say that she's the queen of me. So it seems like a lot of people have this. Okay.
Yeah. So, and notice if you watch her on Watch What Happens Live recently, Andy asks her, how did you feel about Ariana in the movie? Now that's a very simple question.
What did she say?
Very simple question, you see, right? This is what she said. Well, Andy, when I was on stage doing it, I remember Ariana and she came back and she said, one day I'm going to play this part. And I said, yes, you will, baby. So I loved her. I'm like, okay, you had to tell that story. You still made it about you.
Right.
It's always about Kristen Chenoweth.
Okay, so she's one of those. She's one of those. Okay.
Yes. Okay. So Kristen Chenoweth and Ryan Murphy. Okay, my two.
That's a good list. That's a good list of okay. I'm into that. I'm into that list of hatred. Okay, I like that. I like that.
Because it's like really random too. Like Kristen Chenoweth. Why? Oh, I can tell you. And then I tell
right. People. That the true crime podcast thing is actually kind of insane. It's like the what was the $25,000 the shades $25,000 when she popped up in it. What was it? It was the Housewife and the Hustler or the Jen Shaw documentary when she they let her walk in.
No, that was Danielle Staub that did the walk.
Oh yes, her too. That shit was filled with just like idiocracy. I was
that
like,
was so embarrassing. That was that was like, you didn't have one person on the staff on this production team who knew about this show and knew about like the cast of people. Like anyone who knew anything would be like, we can't have Danielle Staub. It doesn't make any sense.
Right.
And then Danielle was like, I sat next to her on Watch What Happens Live. I'm like, oh, then she knows.
Clearly, okay.
She's in.
All right.
Um, here's another good TV show, Industry season
Yes.
3. It had a killer season with a killer cliffhanger,
Oh
and I don't even know where they're gonna go from here. And that was incredible.
God, seeing that they got renewed for a 4th season was just the highlight of my fucking year. Like
For sure.
my
For
God.
sure. And I feel like it finally got enough buzz now that it might start getting acknowledged at awards, because it just gets
Right.
ignored completely. And I think it's time for that to change.
I feel like they were in the shadow of Succession for so long, and now
Yeah.
the Succession is gone. See, they timed it perfectly because now Succession is gone. I don't even know if my mouth is saying it right. Succession.
Succession.
There
That's a
we
hard
go.
word to say. It
Succession.
is.
It is. I don't know what my tongue is doing right now, but that's gone. Plus, they finally added a big name at the right moment, because I was a little nervous with Kit Harington coming. I'm like, oh God, this is gonna take away from
Agreed.
this. You know, I was a big fan of season 1 and 2, so I'm like, oh God, this is gonna take away from the cast that I already love and telling their stories. And Harper and Yash should still be they should be our Rhaenyra and our Allison. So it needs to stay that way. So I was super nervous, but he was the perfect addition. I was like, okay, the writers know what they're doing. Let me get off their back. They know what they're doing. I'm into all of this. Such a good season. Glad to have him back on TV.
Agreed.
Glad we got ass shots. It was a lot of good stuff going on.
A
Okay.
beautiful ass shot. Like that
Yes.
little man's little body is perfection.
How tall is he?
I don't
Do we know?
But
I
he's
assume
short.
he's small. Okay, let me
He's
look.
short for sure.
I assume short too. Let's see. I'll look it up while you're talking.
It's funny you mentioned Rhaenyra and Allison, because we also got House of the Dragon, which is interesting because both Kendrick and I really appreciated the season.
5'8".
However, 5'8". That's okay. That's not for some reason in my head I was matching like 5'2".
Not that small. I feel like that would have been very noticeable on Game of Thrones. So I don't know.
We're like, we don't know. We can't do anything with this.
Right.
No. So House of the Dragon, it was a very contested season. It was like a 50-50 split. But I feel, not to be snobby, I feel like us connoisseurs of television appreciated this season and had no issue with it. And the people who just want like action, because it's like, where were the dragons? I'm like, we had more dragons in this whole season than ever before. Like we had that amazing dragon pit scene.
Oh my God, the Rhaenys death. Like, what are we talking about?
We had so much action. And so we had actually talked about before the season finale, we're like, I don't think we're going to get any fighting, because then once they fight, like tons of these characters are going to die and like we're going to lose. So we knew that wasn't going to happen. We loved the season. It's funny. We actually complained about Damon, or was that? Yeah. We complained. We were like, why are they ruining him? But then to see the big reveal and the switch at the end, it became, we're like, all right, well, maybe it wasn't so bad. You know what would have helped, I think, is if we had actually just gotten it all at the same time, so we could have binged it.
Ooh, I think so too. You know what? Because producers, editors, like everybody has to be like fully conscious of how the season is going to land week to week, because a bingeable show is very different from a week to week show. A slow burn sometimes, depending on dialogue and stuff, can work week to week, but sometimes it's best to just give it all to them. Like, just give them everything. Like, what's that show on? It's another HBO show. Sharp Objects. I watched it week to week and I was really into it. But when I watched it like all the way through as a binge, I was like, this is actually fan-fucking-tastic. Like, this was great to get this all right now, because like you don't have to like, sometimes it's not enough like moving forward to be a week to week show. But then when you go back and binge something, you're like, okay, that was phenomenal. Like, great acting, great just everything. I was into it. So they got to be conscious of that, and everyone's not conscious of that all the time when they're making shows.
That's exactly it. Like, if you're going to do it week to week, be aware that the audience doesn't know the end result, so they are going to just be reacting to that week or whatever they've gotten so far and that week. And with something like what they did was, as a whole, was really interesting storytelling, a lot of character development and shit like that. But I didn't appreciate this. The author, what's his name?
George R. Martin.
Yeah. He had the nerve to come out and criticize House of the Dragon. And I'm like, sir, finish the books. I used to be defending you and
Right.
saying like, oh, he's an artist. He can take as long as he wants. If you're going to take time to write blog posts about how they got something wrong, finish the fucking books.
Exactly. And it felt like he was doing, because like he'd been like very like complimentary and praising them up until then. So it felt like he was like, oh wait, the audience didn't. Oh no, I agree with you guys. I have taste too. Yeah, it's like, okay, dude, like calm the fuck down.
And by the way, the story that they're doing is like this small, like he doesn't have a whole bunch of. But there's not a lot of source material.
Right. They're creating.
And so they have to create their own thing. So I thought that was just like, if anything, he could have been, they didn't get anything wrong. They maybe just took it in a different direction that you would have gone. But if you had maybe written more, they could have used that source material, dude. God. Did you watch English Teacher?
Yes.
Did you, I can't remember. Did you like it?
I loved it. I thought it was so funny. The camping episode was just like the funniest shit on TV to me. I love that episode.
Yeah, I liked it, but there was something about
the lead guy, right?
Yeah, the lead guy, and then there's that whole thing that's come out where he allegedly, like, I don't even know exactly what the allegations are, but there are allegations against him.
Yeah.
That are being brought up. I think it's like what's keeping, they might not be able to get a season 2. Like it's like really affecting things. Yeah, because they have to take it serious.
And also he's an annoying. I followed him for all of like a week on social media.
Me too. Oh my God, me too.
Immediately unfollow. I was like, okay, this is an annoying ass fucking Instagram. I got to get this out of my life right now. Or I'm gonna go insane. Gotta go. So yeah, yeah.
I had the same thing. I started following him, and I was like, I never want to see this again ever.
No, never.
I also feel like I picked up on it too when I was watching the show, and they made some weird choices. Like the guy like wasn't. I'm like, what's his redeeming quality? Like this character has zero redeeming qualities. He's just like a selfish, kind of bad teacher, and I don't really get why we're rooting for him.
Then like I get it. You guys were together forever and y'all broke up and all this kind of stuff. But don't give us someone opposite him that fucking hot. If you don't want us to want you to wind up with him, like, okay, what do you want us to do right now? Sorry, I'm rooting for the other guy.
Yeah, I same thing. Didn't get it.
Lost me there.
But I loved her. I loved Gwen, the actress who played Gwen. I thought she was so cute. And she kind of made the show for me. She was like the heart of the show.
I like the great supporting cast. Can I call out a comment real quick?
Of course, yes.
Because it related to how we were talking about House of the Dragon. Zachary Haynes said, Star Wars nerd Zachary! Here.
We love him.
Acolyte was good in my opinion, but the fandom hated it. I think it suffered from a slow burn weekly episodes. Should have dropped all at once. I literally, because I'm a Star Wars TV watcher too. Like I tend to love the shows a lot more than the fandom. Star Wars fandom is so like Marvel has a toxic fandom. Star Wars fandom is it is bad. Like I don't go online and read anything. I'm like, nope, stay away from there. Twitter is a terrible place. But I tend to really like the shows when everyone else. Hey, I'm like, I thought this was great. Like I didn't know. Acolyte, I didn't get to watch week to week. I started watching it, but then I found out it got canceled. I was like, okay, well, no need. I hate because my coworker talked it up so much. She's like, oh my God, you're gonna love it. It's a great show and all this kind of stuff. And I wanted to finish it, but I was like, see, I'm gonna be pissed off if I watch this knowing that it's canceled. So I don't even know how it ends. So now I might go back and just binge it all. I don't know. Damn it. All the good stuff gets canceled from us. It's Bravo and pauses and Star Wars and fandom. It's just all bad.
Right? Well, but you know it was really good? The Traitors season 2.
Yes. They were my I did a podcast recently. They were my pick of the year. I thought they were the highlight.
It was so many moving parts, so many good elements. Is excellent. Just excellent television. Phaedra, which
scares me. Yes, it scares me about season 3 because this was like a cast where this was lightning in a bottle. So I'm hoping they can get it right again. But man, this was a hell of a cast.
I agreed. And like the fact that they have Tom Sandoval on this cast is just like, I'm concerned. I'm like, I don't want pulling any focus. I don't want to watch anything with him on it. And that's not just because of the Scandival. It's just because like he's so lame.
And we don't see, my thing is we don't need to relive Scandal anymore either. And so I don't want him
Exactly.
getting on
Oh,
here and then like
totally.
with so many Bravo celebrities, they being like, well, you and Ariana, and I'm like, okay, let's leave that out there and let's focus on the trade. Let's focus on betrayals and banishments and all this. I don't need that. Like, I'm okay with that.
Exactly.
Doesn't the Trader season 2 versus the upcoming season, doesn't it kind of feel like, they were like, okay, let's go, like, let's make this a bang. Let's get all our A-list reality TV talent. And then after that, they were like, oh shit, we got everybody. Who can we go to for the next season? So it's like, okay, what about this person? They haven't seen her in a while. What about that person? So it's like, oh baby, I don't know, but we're gonna watch anyway. I'm very excited for it. Very excited.
Yes, I think that's
scared.
when you think about the first season to the second season, very big difference. It just the first
Yes.
season was just they didn't figure out what they were doing, and Brandy was on it, and like I can't with her. But the second season just had this like immaculate piecing together of people and personalities that like I wouldn't have thought to put together, but
right.
it worked. And so I don't know what their angle was when they were looking at people. I also wonder if a lot of it's just like availability.
Probably, because I'm sure they're like, oh well, this Housewives is currently filming. She can't go and do that for a week, so she's got to, because like I think OC benefited from Tamra, so like she had to, when she came back, it's like, okay, well now let's film OC, and you can't always do that. So they got it's always it's like with Ultimate Girls Trip, actually, they can't like take somebody out of current filming to throw them on an island. So it's like, well,
exactly. So like,
so like Heather Gay's free.
Like they have to totally though. That's literally what happened. They have this probably long list of people that like their dream list, and then they whittle it down to who can actually do it.
Exactly.
So that's probably a big thing.
Ooh, I don't even know if timing will work out, because Atlanta will be airing probably at the same time as Trader season 3. And I was about to say, I 100% see Portia being on the next season, like season 4 of it. But then I'm like, damn, Atlanta will probably be filming. But they'll probably figure some stuff out. I see it Kenya or Portia on the next season, because I feel like they always need like that caliber of a reality TV star.
Agreed.
To help carry some stuff. So one of them,
I think Portia would be amazing.
Oh my god, this is gonna be nonstop comedy. That's gonna be great.
Portia would be. I am curious to see Nene. I would love to see. I don't know if that would happen just because it's like Peacock and Bravo, and I would be very.
But she's been doing stuff for E, so maybe we're going that direction.
Maybe she's slowly wedging her way back in.
Okay.
Did you finish The Day of the Jackal?
I did not. I got distracted by something else.
We will discuss next week if you've watched, because if I'm going to grade that show,
I was going to ask.
I would give it a D.
Oh, so it fell from grace.
So I was obsessed. Like the first 4 episodes, I was like, oh, this is great. It's sexy. It's like James Bond-esque. And then it started to become very apparent that they didn't figure out who the protagonist was supposed to be in it, because they were focusing on things. No one was on the same page. So every bit of dialogue became so formulaic to me. So it would be like, this person has this motivation, but this person's going to be in their way, and then they're going to have conflict. And so no one was on the same page. I needed like some people to be a real duo and be like working together, but everyone was in opposition at all times. Even the like rich guy who's going to be doing the river or whatever that technological thing.
Yeah.
First of all, he's horribly cast. He looks like he's the villain for a Bond movie, and I'm so confused. I'm like, why are we looking? Is he a bad guy or a good guy? I'm so
right.
They should switch his boyfriend or his husband with him. Like they should switch roles, because that would make more sense to me. But then why this guy who knows he's saying something super dangerous that could get his life, that could get him killed? Yeah. Why is he so mean to his head of security?
Yeah.
His head of security is like, sir, there's been a hit taken out on you. And he's like, oh, do we have a name for this supposed assassin? And I'm like, what assassin is like handing out their first and last name? What the fuck?
Exactly. Tell him I tried to kill him. It's like, no, that's not how this works. Sorry.
But they're like, he's like, is that person have a name? And I'm like, why? This is just bad writing. Right. This is just bad dialogue, because you guys should at least be on his team. It's your head of security.
And that, you know what? One of my biggest pet peeves with TV is when you waste star power like that. Like you had Lashana Lynch and Eddie Redmayne on the same show. That should have been like HBO level writing that you
Thank
gave them
you.
like from start to finish. So that makes me not want to fit. Damn it. I hate that.
And her character, they didn't give me enough. Like, I don't understand why her husband hates her. Why do they not like support her in her job? Isn't her job a good job? Doesn't she have like a job saving lives? Like, I'm so confused. Why do you guys hate her for it so much? And then when he's got dialogue, like he takes the kids and he goes away, and the dialogue for some reason is, you're not the same person. I'm like, well, you see, I didn't know her before. Exactly. I don't know her at all. So this is just cliche writing. Like, they gave this woman nothing. I didn't believe she was a mom. I didn't believe she was married to that man. I was so confused.
It's just like shit thrown together.
Yes.
This is very like Fifth Hour of what's the damn Jake Gyllenhaal show?
Presumed Innocent or whatever the hell it was called.
Yes, that's very Fifth Hour of that.
That damn ending. That's another ending that got that grinds my gears. They they played in our faces. Like, did they forget we've watched a lot of television and know what the hell you did here?
Mm-hmm. That was very like, we'll write this show and then we'll figure shit out at the end.
Yes!
Like, we'll come up with the ending. It's like, okay.
It's almost like they're like, let's shoot it with an entirely different ending in mind so that we really throw people off. And then who cares if like the details like match up? It's fine.
Right.
So that was so annoying. So yeah, I give it a D. I give it a D. Right. We got a really great season of Orange County, and this is just a silly, stupid little story that I saw, because I don't know if you saw that a lot of the girlies from Orange County, I think with the exception of Jen and Katie, went out to lunch and were posting all over social media about it.
Yes.
Well, Vicki obviously had thoughts on it. I just thought this is just so petty and silly. So in the controversial pic, Tamra wrapped her arms around Shannon while castmates surrounded them. And so a lot of people, I guess, were like, I'm so confused. Why are you all getting along? Like, what the hell? Mm-hmm. So after the photo, this is thank you reality blurb, by the way. After the photo surfaced, Vicki, who lost her friendship with Tamra after she declared herself Team Shannon, commented that she was sorry she couldn't make it to the luncheon. But Tamra later claimed Vicki wasn't invited. So, then on Vicki's podcast, she said it was confusing. She then challenged Tamra's claim that Vicki never got an invite. I was loosely invited, but I said, I'm not going to go if Tamra's going, who then also shared that she wasn't able to go anyway because she was out of town. But Tamra and Shannon were hugging in the photo. This is Vicki. I called Shannon right away. I said, what's going on with you? Like, are you a real friend to me? The only reason I'm not speaking to Tamra right now is because of how she treated you. I defended you, and I don't like the way people treat people, so I'm not going to be around it. And Shannon's like, oh my God, she was hugging me. I wasn't hugging her.
God.
I didn't talk to her the whole night. I responded, you're going to do what you have to do to keep your job. I get that. And it's easier being nice to people than it is not being nice. So I get what Shannon's doing, and that's why she had to do it. But Tamra does the whole drama, like, I'm hugging Shannon. We're all good now. I just think it's so silly that this is the kind of fighting that they're doing. Like, she was hugging me. And then like, I just imagine Tamra being like forcing Shannon and being like, smile. And like, they really weren't talking any other times. Like, that's where we're at with that.
Right. See that I don't know what to believe. Well, I don't believe Vicki was invited to that lunch, first of all.
I don't either. I think she was told that they were doing the lunch, and she was like, oh, well, I can't go.
I'm out of town. Yeah, I can't go. Nope, sorry. Whoops, I'm out of town. Can't. They're like, oh.
I almost spit my water out because that was like, exactly.
I can't go. No, this is literally insane. I almost feel though that Shannon and Tamra have probably, I don't think they're like nearly as close as they used to be. I think they're probably okay now, though. I think Agreed. Shannon wants to go in this season on a clear foot. Tamra wants to go in on a clear footing. And like the hug, she probably didn't hug her back. She's like, what the hell is going on right now? But they probably talked all during that lunch. Like they didn't just ignore each other. Like, I don't know. Vicki, but then again, I don't even know if Shannon told Vicki that story. Vicki gets on that podcast and just says whatever she wants to. So God only knows.
Oh yeah, no, Vicki, Vicki, taking such a hard stance simply on behalf of Shannon, that's
Yeah.
always going to get you in trouble.
Mhm.
Always, never go against it. You know, this happened on Salt Lake City. Lisa Barlow claimed that the reason she was so mean to Monica, or not mean, because Monica was also insane, but like the reason like they were feuding was mainly because of Monica saying what she said about Sean. Then
Yeah.
Angie and Monica make up, and Lisa's like, the only reason I was even mean to her was because of you. It's like, you never want to do that. It's a
Nope.
bad route. They will always make up, and you're stuck like, fuck.
Exactly. You know what it's like? It's like when your friend always goes back to that cheating boyfriend,
Mhm.
but they always come to you and they're like, I'm leaving him. He's trash. And then you type, well, girl, I know some other girls he been screwing and he been doing it. He's an evil person. We hate him and all this kind of stuff. And then the next day she's on Instagram, smiling, posing up with him. You're like, okay, well, I just trashed that man. So let me not go to your birthday party on Saturday because that'll be awkward for me. So
exactly. Okay, exactly
God.
that. I know. This is just a quick story. I want us all to be on alert and keeping our eyes on this, okay?
Oh,
Joshua Jackson, aka Pacey from Dawson's
yes,
Mr. Pacey. He's also like, what does he have? Dr. Crew, Doctor Who, Dr. something. He's got a whole show. He got a whole.
Oh yeah. Oh my God, Dr. Odyssey. I watch it every. Yes,
Dr. Odyssey.
I watch it. I do love it. But I'm that person. You know me.
Guess what?
Oh, I know.
He has not been paying his child or spousal support to Ms. Jodi Smith, and that man has the money. And unacceptable, sir.
And you know that's my queen. You know I love me some Jodi Turner Smith. Okay, I love me some Jodi Turner Smith. That's my girl.
And so, what is your excuse, sir? Because we know you've got the money. I can't.
But I can't. For y'all that haven't been following it, because they were my favorite couple. Like I love them. Every time they stepped on the red carpet, they looked so good together. I was like, oh, I love this. He's been running behind Lupita Nyong'o. Like they've been like coupled up, for like months and months now. So I'm like, wait a minute, you gonna start putting a stink on Lupita, our Oscar-winning Barbie beauty, and now what's going on? Like, I don't like this. I don't like it, Pacey. Fix it. Plus, I love Dr. Odyssey, so don't make me stop watching. I don't like this. I don't like this at all.
I know. Very disappointed. So we need to keep an eye on him and hold his ass accountable because not cool, dude.
Has he responded at all? Because she put that story out this week, right?
Yeah, I haven't seen him respond. I don't think I follow him. I don't. And would he be responding on like his Instagram? Wouldn't he like release? I don't know.
I would think like a publicist, would say something, but I don't think I've seen anything.
Yeah, because like poor thing, she's had to like run up attorney's fees and forensic accounting and all that stuff. So he now owes her that too.
Right,
buddy.
Ooh, speaking of her. I only got to watch one episode, but I want. Are you a Paramount Plus watcher at all?
I have it.
Okay, right. I'm like, I got it. She's on a new show with what's his name?
Are you talking about the
Magneto.
one with Richard Gere? Oh no.
Oh, maybe Richard Gere. Is he on there? Maybe. I think he's on there with. I was thinking of Magneto. Who's Magneto? Y'all know who I'm talking about.
Michael Fassbender.
Yes.
I want to watch that show. You're the second person in literally 3 days to tell me I got to watch it. So I'm gonna.
I've only watched one episode, so I think I'm gonna get back in it with you. Okay.
What's it called?
Oh shit! Goddamn.
I don't remember either.
I'll look it up while you're talking.
Yeah, because I also want to watch that, and I have the Paramount Plus. It's technically a Showtime show.
Yes, The Agency. That's it.
The Agency. Yes. I'm down. I heard some really good stuff about it. So thank you for reminding me.
Oh, by the way, if y'all, because we were talking about the Acolyte earlier, she was in the Acolyte too. So if you do want to go on a journey, Jodi Turner Smith binge, there you go. Acolyte, Queen and Slim, The Agency, that Without Remorse with Michael B. Jordan. There's a lot of good stuff you can watch. Okay, get into it. Get into it.
Did you see the latest Kim Richards story?
Kim Richards? No.
Okay. So the story is Kim Richards called the police, get ready, to tell them someone had taken her cat, but that they returned it. Then started rambling about her ongoing issues with Kyle.
I know you lying.
This
Ma'am, this is a
behavior,
Wendy's.
this
Like, girl, get off my phone. What are we doing right now? This is a Wendy's. Like, get out of here. What are we doing? Like, you see that? You'd be arrested in Memphis. Like, don't call tying up my line for this bullshit. What are we doing? My God.
That's too fucking good. That's exactly what this is.
Goodness.
Well, the behavior set off alarm bells because the officers were like, oh, this appears to be a bit of a mental health crisis. So they called someone from the mental health department to come and check her out. And this is according to TMZ. After speaking with Richards, we're told the mental health evaluation team determined Kim did not meet the criteria for an involuntary hold because they felt she didn't represent a harm to herself or others.
Okay, that's good.
Yep. So she called the police to talk shit about Kyle, and I believe she's in Kyle's home. Kyle is like paying for this home. Kyle has tried to have her removed from the home because they're trying to do they're trying to get her to bottom out. They're trying to get they're trying to stop because they helped create this, like they've been supporting. And I know Kim and Kyle have their long thing, but I found out a long time ago that Kyle had been paying for Kim to live in her house for a while. Like she'd been, and I was surprised because I was like, Kim always says that Kyle doesn't do anything, but like that's just part of the deal. Yeah.
Right.
And so the last I heard was Kyle and the other family members are not speaking to Kim. They're trying to get her to eventually go get help. And clearly things are not going much better.
Ew.
Yeah.
Goodness.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's, I'm not surprised it got this bad because I was just so confused why people were just like, oh, poor Kim. I'm like, wait a minute, hold on. Kim is like really not okay.
Right.
Really not okay at all.
Right.
Even though she like when she came back from rehab and had that sit down with Andy and like the one-on-one, and she looked so medicated, and he's like, are you on anything? And she's like, I'm on medication that keeps me sober. And I was like, that's not a thing.
I was about to say, what? Oh, okay.
They would be prescribing that to everyone. That's not a thing. That's not a thing at all. So that's okay. Yeah.
See, when you for some reason when you said Kim Richards, I was immediately thinking of Kim Zolciak because she's been in the news for a lot of mess too. I'm like, girl, this ain't y'all year. The white Kims got to get it together.
I can't stand that whole thing is so dark and nasty and twisted and gross. Like they constantly call the cops.
Always. It's a mess. They
have called the damn cops. I've never seen more body cam footage of people. The same person over and over again. Here we go again. They're in the house. Oh my God, guys.
Literally. And then the kid, oh God, like which kid is it? I think it's Ariana. Ariana's like doing the do you see the TikTok she did where she's like saying bye to my childhood at home? And people are like, that wasn't your childhood. Like you were in the townhouse. Like we watched the show. Like, what are you talking about? And then she has to do another one. She's like, well, you guys, this was my home too. Like I lived here. And it's like, okay, like what everyone is just like so like starved for attention that it's like, I don't know how to take you. I don't know if I should be taking you seriously. I don't know if, because Kim is just like Brandy when she does those like someone's pregnant. Click the link in my story to figure out who it is. Yeah. And it's like does that kind of stuff. And I'm like, I don't know how to take y'all at all. Like I don't know what this is. That whole family and Croy, all his money is gone. And I'm like, I don't know.
Right?
Ugh.
Yeah, it's dark.
It's bad.
I will say 2024 was the year of like sex trafficking rings finally getting busted. Like rich people having these parties and drugging girls and all that stuff. That's like so if we had Diddy, and now Diddy's even got 3 new lawsuits from 3 different men, John Doe's, claiming the years are actually like, I didn't expect it to be like 2019 for some of them. So there's that. There's the Diddy one. There was the Abercrombie CEO, Mike Jeffries, who was having the stories of those sex parties were so creepy. They were like in this home, like this big mansion, but like in some kind of secluded part of, it's kind of where I imagine like the Long Island serial killer was like, that type, those like where it's like by the coast of something and no one can hear you scream type of shit.
Yes.
And like really weird, like the men would show up and have to be shaved from head to toe. I know, like really
so creepy. Shit. And if you watch that Netflix documentary, none of this should surprise you, honestly, because he was gross, right?
So creepy.
He was a lot of the isms.
Have you heard of the Alexander brothers?
No.
Okay, so I feel like they must be kind of socialites in the media in New York City more so, or like in Florida more so than like because I hadn't heard of them either, but they're these big real estate guys. And Oren and Alon, they have been charged with sex trafficking and R-ing women, and it's the same type of thing. They like lure the women with like expensive stuff, and then they get them there, and almost immediately they're drugging people and whatever. And you can just see it because they look like men that would do this because they can. Yeah, so that's cool that 2024 decided to be the end of these sorts of things. Yep, don't they just look like it?
They look like creeps, which we shouldn't be doing, but they look like creeps. Like,
they look like creeps.
They would be casted in a movie to be a creep. So yeah, I get it. Yeah.
So like, if you look at the filing, it's just the way they detail it. It's like sometimes it would even happen at clubs or nightclubs. Sometimes it would be multiple of them all at the same time with one girl. Like awful shit, awful stuff. Yeah,
people with it makes you exactly people with money. It's just like. You almost wonder how like people are raised, because it's like there's two different ways. Like one way is you're raised with money, so you've always had the expectation that things should be given to you and come to you, and like no is not an acceptable answer. But then you have the other side that like gets money later on in life, and it's like I forget everything I've ever learned about being humble and this, and it's like, well, no, I have it now, so I'm gonna act like I just got it, and then they start doing it's like, can't people just like acquire money and be good? Like, is that a thing anymore? I don't know.
I know, right? It's like, does getting the money make you that way? Well, then you got people like Mark Cuban who give me hope in life.
Right.
Mark Cuban is like the only reason I can accept. I know. I said that the other day. I'm like, if something fucking drops about Mark Cuban, we need to. I don't know what to do because that's like the last good rich person that I could think of. Come on, man.
Exactly. Goodness.
But so like if that was kind of a big turning point, is exposing these sorts of things that are very real and very much do happen. Now, this last story I would not have thought that I would have given this big of a shit, because when it was first happening with Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni, I was like, I don't care. I don't care that Blake's mean. I don't really know anything about her. I don't really care. Any of this stuff doesn't really matter to me. But now that I've read more of the filing about what actually happened, it's not a story necessarily just about Blake and about Justin Baldoni. It's a story about these publicists in Hollywood that are cutthroat. I'm going to make a whole bunch of content about this, I'm sure, because I want the movie version of this stat, because these publicists, and it would be a powerhouse cast of women, I tell you, because these publicists, we have the original, okay, I'll go through it. Stephanie Jones. She's this super hot blonde bombshell PR person who's got a very reputable PR firm called JonesWorks. JonesWorks was representing Justin Baldoni and Wayfarer, his production studio. And Justin's point person at JonesWorks was this woman named Jennifer Abel. Jennifer Abel was I guess like a feisty and hungry person. And she must have really hated Stephanie Jones, because when Justin was concerned about all of the stuff about him coming out from filming, because like it was bad, like the stuff that they had to put in place to protect Blake and the other female actors was just that should not have ever had to have been stated. Like no more coming into Blake's dressing room when she's nude. I'm like, yeah, that seems like that
shouldn't have been a thing. Yeah.
Or like friends of the producers can't sit and watch the monitor on days they film intimate scenes. Yeah, that's a given. Like, what the fuck? Or intimacy coordinator must be on set for all scenes involving nudity and or simulated sex. Yeah, that's like a SAG requirement. So I don't know.
Why do you need to say those things out loud? That's insane.
So Justin was worried about all that coming out, which is bad. So he turns to his point person for PR point person and says, what do? I really need to like have an action plan. Well, this Jennifer Abel, she was hungry and she was like, don't worry, I got this. So she calls, I guess, her friend, Melissa Nathan. This woman is like apparently the crisis PR person to get. Johnny Depp used her when he was doing the defamation suit against Amber Heard. So this bitch has a track record of being cutthroat as hell. So she must also hate Stephanie Jones. So like Stephanie Jones over here at Jones Works, giving Jennifer Abel a job and making her like a partner of Jones Works. Not apparently this Stephanie woman was that bad that Melissa and Jennifer plotted to get what's his face, Justin Baldoni and Wayfair as clients for Jennifer, and then Jennifer was going to jump ship, start her own company. Not obviously tell Stephanie any of this, but then also blame Stephanie for the Blake Lively smear campaign.
Ooh,
you guys, so Stephanie Jones has then filed a suit against Jennifer Abel, Justin Baldoni, Melissa Nathan, all these people. She has subpoenaed their phone records and there are text messages where it's like in black and white, them being like, just take this client and get the fuck out of there and never see her again. And like plotting how they're going to get Justin to leave Jones Works and stay with Jennifer Abel when she goes and does her next thing. Like it's all very clear in black and white. So I'm like, give me the television show or something of this, because we have got so many interesting characters. And the other interesting thing is that by nature, publicists don't have a lot of digital footprint. So finding even pictures of them is hard, which is so crazy about why this is all coming to light. And proof that Stephanie Jones is clearly the stronger, better or more powerful PR person. Stephanie Jones has got a piece in the New York Times written about her and how she was the one wronged in the situation. There's some other, basically all the major outlets are reporting it from Stephanie's POV. I only found like one or two. One is on The Wrap about how actually Stephanie Jones was not nice and she was a bully, and that's why Jennifer Abel left. I'm like, oh, so see, I'm thinking that Stephanie just bested you and you really thought you were going to get away with doing this. And so, and just apparently Justin Baldoni and Wayfair, they didn't pay the rest of their fee to Jones Works. So that's also why she's suing them for breach of contract. Like this was, I just want to see this on screen. I can see different people playing the characters. Like, I'm like, yes. Oh,
we need like either a movie or a show about this the same way we did about Don't Worry, Darling. Remember when that movie came out and all that mess behind the scene? We were like, does Chris Pine hate Harry Styles? Right. Does Gemma Chan hate Florence? Like, we didn't know what was going on. We're like, this is a lot happening. It looked like Harry Styles had spit at Chris Pine at the premiere, and like it was a mess. Like we need both. I need all of this. I love behind the scenes stuff more. I love the actual stuff.
I forgot about that because it was also like, wasn't Olivia? We thought she was trying to cover up for the affair that she had with Harry Styles. So it was all of that just to do that. Oh my God, yes, because it's so publicists have been so involved in the information that we receive, and we don't even know who they are. So that's, I think, why this was this is like hitting me. Like, this is kind of historic because they've been getting away with shit for a while. No one knows who they are, but they've just been these invisible people with a lot of power. And so now we're exposing it, which is going to be, I think, interesting. The next time a big wave of like, cancel this person comes, it's like, hold on. Is there a reason for this? Because it used to feel like I used to not really think about like the origin of why these stories start suddenly coming out. Duh, there's a whole fucking person behind it, like feeding it and making sure that the narrative shifts. So Oh, I
Mhm.
love it. I love it. And like
And it's
these two,
crazy.
these girls, these women, like just are like willing to be so disgusting and make Blake Lively look bad just to cover up for Justin
A
Baldoni
man
being the
being
creepiest,
gross.
worst person. And they didn't even like him. There's all these texts between them where it's like I can't stand him. I can't stand his face. He's such a pig. But they're willing to do it for the power
And the money.
and the money.
So crazy. And it goes to show you, like, when like Blake's side finally spoke up, how many people on that side actually came out and was like, I'm sorry, like, I'm glad she said something, because now we can talk about how horrible Justin is, or how horrible, like, like, they all came, like, she had a wave of support behind her, and it's like, oh shit, like, this ain't just like her cousin Ray down the street saying that she's a great person. This is people that worked on the movie with this man. This is people that, like, production, cast members, crew, like, everybody coming out and saying he's disgusting, hate that side, don't believe a word he says. I fully support Blake Lively. And it's like, well, dang, like, it's crazy that they managed, when her husband had the biggest movie at the time, like, of the year, all this coming out at the exact same time, to, like, basically, like, tarnish both of them a little bit. Because then, like, people started saying, well, they say Ron Reynolds sucks too, he's a horrible guy too, and, like, all this. It's like everybody was collateral damage. And, like, seeing how powerful, I mean, like, Olivia Pope wasn't PR, but she was PR. Like, just we've seen, like, how powerful these people can be, but, like, seeing it in real life is like, oh, that's kind of scary. That's, like, wild. Like, had she not punched back, it would have been over for her.
Right. So exactly. So Emily just said, Google the Business Insider post from August before Blake got lawyers. Who's afraid of Stephanie Jones? Which mentions the anonymous poster was a disgruntled ex-employee posting about her online. So it's funny you mentioned this Business Insider thing, because in the filing in Stephanie Jones's lawsuit, in her filing, she has proof that though Melissa and Jennifer talked with the reporter at Business Insider and made sure that they did this hit piece. Like, they put the hit piece out.
Oh.
So that was them, like, literally making sure they were trying to distract from their own stuff. So they thought, okay, we'll get something out about Stephanie. And so if this comes out about Blake, they'll think it was Stephanie, since she was the PR person for Justin Baldoni and Wayfarer. Now, I don't doubt that Stephanie cutthroat bitch. Okay. I don't doubt that for a second. Sure. Which would make the TV show I'm making in my head even more interesting.
Right.
Yeah.
We don't need the TV show to have their actual names. Like, somebody can, like, take this just, like, based on a true story and, like, just give it to us. We'll pick up what you're talking about. Okay. We'll pick up what you're putting down. Just somebody give it to us.
It could be a good TV show premise, actually, like these publicists, like having these different publicists and what they do in Hollywood, like that. Why hasn't anyone made that? That's actually smart.
PR wars, absolutely.
Right? Like, seeing how they work the inner work, like that would be cool. There was a ton of material for that, and, like, that would be.
I'd love it.
I would love it. Anyway, what is this? What does this say? I'm gonna have to disagree. Don't come for me. Not saying it didn't happen. I'm just saying I'm sure there is more to the story. I have no idea what that's referring to.
Oh,
do we know what that is? I don't know.
I don't know.
Let me
scroll up and see.
Did you say, April? What did we miss? So I'm so lost. You're jumping around too quick for my brain. Were we?
I don't know. It was a lot to take in. It was a lot to digest.
Oh, were we jumping around? Okay. Anyway, let me just do this. Hold on. There we go. Anyway, all right. We are already at over an hour in, so we should probably wrap this up, guys. But anywhoozy, 2024, you've been fast.
Yeah.
You've been fast, and there we go. So 2025, here we freaking do. Let's do it. Let's fucking go. But Kendrick, thank you so much for another year of amazing sessions and recording. Thank you for our live show. That was so much fun. I can't wait to do another one. And then for you guys who've been here this whole time, like the Sunday crew has been so solid. We appreciate you guys so much. Don't forget, follow Kendrick at With Kendrick Tucker and follow his podcast, I Cannot, which is available everywhere you listen. And we will see you guys next year. So love y'all's. Means it. Bye.
Bye.